to us, we've never seen him treat people badly. He is quick to anger. I will say that he's quick to anger, but it's usually like a verbal aggression kind of thing. So he just like, and then he kind of thinks about it and moves past it. But we don't see how he treats other people, and people don't really tell us how he treats them. Like mom doesn't sit and gossip to me about how dad treated her. My siblings don't sit and gossip to me about how they've been treated, kind of thing. So as much as I've seen, that's how I base my relationship off of with Robyn, with Robyn's kids, and with dad.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So yesterday we did a video and we talked about some Kody Brown and Robyn Brown situations going on in the whole excommunication scenario. There was a couple people from the Apostolic United Brethren that showed up in my comments and said that apostates are not shunned. So apparently some apostates don't get shunned. I stand by the reporting that the Browns were not excommunicated because they just haven't been. And as far as I know, the excommunication discussion was used for publicity. But Kody Brown is still very close to a lot of the AUB members. And recently a book was dedicated to him by the prophet's wife. She wrote a book called American Polygamy and legitimately thanked him in the acknowledgments. So I don't think Kody is on bad terms with anyone really from the AUB. So let's talk in about some new details that are coming out about Robyn Brown and Kody Brown's living situation and what's going to happen now that they have a single income. So it's going to be kind of interesting here, but Kody is apparently already trying to think about moving. Shocking, right? And I said this was going to happen. I predicted this was going to happen. So Kody and Robyn, apparently Kody's got the itch to move. And all of this comes word of Mykelti and Tony from a Q&A that they did last night on their Patreon. So interestingly, there was some other topics that came up about what the nanny does. And there was also some discussion about if the parents even raise their kids. And then finally, she discussed Janelle's mysterious divorce. So remember how Janelle was previously married to Mary Brown, her brother. So Janelle Brown was married to Adam Barber, and they actually got divorced in 1990. So Mykelti gave some insight into the marriage between Janelle and Adam. This would have been before Mykelti was born. So, but yeah. So basically, let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? And if you need to wait until the very end of the video, you can certainly wait until the very end to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say. Click on the bell if you want to be notified. You'll get notifications any single time I go live or new content loads, and I don't go live very much. And if you could, share this video with your friends. So the Mykelti and Tony have been hosting these different like watch parties, and they're going through the different seasons and watching episodes, kind of similar to what I would say Gwendolyn Brown is doing. And their perspective obviously is a little bit more neutral, and Mykelti seems to be a little bit more willing to play the game, which would be saying the least like controversial things as possible. What I do find interesting is how her perspective is so vastly different than some of her other siblings. So whereas Gwendolyn will say that she doesn't have a good relationship with her dad, Mykelti will say that she has a good relationship with her dad. Where Gwendolyn will say that her dad wasn't a very nice guy and he wasn't around very much, Mykelti will say something quite the opposite. So I think it just depends, and I think it depends on if someone has like rose-colored glasses or if someone has like realistic glasses or if they have like negative glasses. And we can all like look through history in different lenses and how it affects us, where some people have better like clear boundaries on what they think and need and what they want in a relationship, and other people are more passive and less willing to like have any conflict. I think also determines how they view relationships. And I view McKelty as the kind of person that just doesn't like to have conflict and doesn't hold grudges and tries to just see the best in people. In the Q&A, they were watching an episode and like kind of asking questions in between. And as far as the nanny goes, they actually admitted that Robyn has a nanny because of the job and that she has with TLC. So apparently they have to do filming for their couch scenes, like their interviews. And so on the days that she has to go film or do something for the show, she needs a nanny for that. And then she apparently has My Sister Wives Closet. But she also answered a question about what happened with Sister Wives Closet. So, and take this with a grain of salt because, you know, I don't know what I believe.
No, I just checked it. It's still down.
Oh, you still? Oh, so they were hacked a bunch, and they didn't have the best virus protection or whatever, and so it just became too much to continuously repair the website to keep up with it. But it's something that I don't know. I guess it just recently might have come down, like full time down, because just a couple months ago I asked Robyn about it, and she said she was still taking orders and stuff for it. So that's kind of that. But I think Robyn's the only one that does the My Sister Wives Closet, and she has been for a couple of years.
What I believe. She claims that they were hacked and they didn't have very good website like structure, and they got hacked a lot of times, and because their website wasn't robust, they just couldn't keep up with constantly getting hacked. I don't know if I believe that because it seems like they would have access to a lot of different resources being on a show, and they would have had access to a lot of different people that could have done web development, but I don't know anything. And it could very well happen being that they're polygamists and people don't like them, so that could happen. But she says that they were having issues with people hacking into the website, and then Robyn had been doing orders outside of that, but up until recently they just ended the business. So Robyn was the only one that was doing the business, and then recently the whole, like Tony said, as of he checked yesterday, the website, the inventory was down. She had been selling it like offhand, but she wasn't updating inventory. Robyn seemed to stop her interest in My Sister Wives Closet when they moved from Flagstaff they moved from Nevada to Arizona. And I just don't think it correlated. I don't think the market ever followed her, and I don't think a lot of people were interested in the amount of money they were charging for their pieces. And it's very niche, and I just don't think that a lot of people liked it. That's just my opinion. So the Sister Wives Closet is now kaput. She has other jobs apparently, which I don't know what those are. And if it's like maybe helping Kody with his gun business, I'm not sure. But other than that, they also mentioned that even Christine needs help during the day with her daughter, Truly. So it's not just Robyn that needs a nanny. Okay, whatever. So after they discussed Robyn's job, they also mentioned that Kody is apparently like on the verge of wanting to move.
What, 10 hours away?
It's kind of remote.
Freaking forever.
No big airport.
Yeah, it's hard to get to. You either have to drive or you have to fly to Phoenix, and then it's 2.5 hours from Phoenix. So we hope that they move again. That would be very nice for us.
I know he wants to. He wants
He gets his itch. He's gotten his itch. He's been talking about it for a while.
He wants a cheaper place of living. You know, Flagstaff is absurdly expensive. I know he wants something cheaper, much, much cheaper.
Move. So they claim that Kody gets an itch every so many years. I believe his itch has a lot to do with creditors and having to have payments due. You know, they moved from Wyoming to Utah when they were going through bankruptcy, and the bank was about to take their house. So they foreclosed, their house went into foreclosure, and they left and moved to Utah. In Utah, it was a little bit different. They said they left because of the investigation, and then they rented their house out to other polygamists. So, and they didn't end up selling their house until 2016. So that move was a little bit different. But then the Vegas move was like within 5 years. And I feel like they love to get 5-year arms and 5-year loans on their houses. This new decision to move, they claim, is because Kody and Robyn, or Kody at least, wants to find a more reasonable place to live, and because Flagstaff is so expensive. They claim they moved there because they wanted to have a place that was less expensive than Vegas, but it was like twice more expensive than Vegas. And then on top of that, it's so expensive to build, it's so expensive to own property, that they want something more affordable. which to me feels like Kody was only able to stay in Flagstaff and afford that lifestyle unless he had multiple wives. And without multiple wives and multiple income that he can draw from now, he's going to have to find his own way to pay bills and pay off loans, and he can't do that on his own. And so they have loans that are due in like 3 months. So their lots that they own at Coyote Pass, they've got 2 loans that are coming due in June, and they're going to either have to pay the lots off in full, which they could. I mean, if they have the money, go ahead, or they can put them on the market and sell, or the lender will end up just taking it back if they don't pay them off. So they haven't pulled any permits. The loans are due in 3 months. So I've said a million different ways from Tuesday that I feel like Kody and them will find a way to leave within the next several months. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't think anything's going to happen with their properties at Coyote Pass, though. So Kody and Robyn want to move because Flagstaff is too expensive, i.e. he needs a new storyline for the show, i.e. he's bored and he can't afford the expensiveness of Flagstaff, and he doesn't have sister wives to pay his bills anymore. He needs to go back to Utah to rejoin the church so he can get a new flock to help pay his bills, right? Because women are the only ones that can, bring money in. I showed you that. Or men have a right to all of the women's money regardless. So Robyn and Kody, they want to move, or Kody wants to move. I'm sure Robyn doesn't want to move. Robyn has the nanny because of because of the show, and Sister Wives Closet no longer exists. So the other thing that she talked about was that Janelle. So back before Janelle and Kody were married, she was briefly married to a man named Adam Barber. Now, the story about Janelle and Kody getting together doesn't track for me because Adam Barber, who is Mary's brother, was in a polygamous family. So she was married into a family that were polygamists. She had father-in-law, William, and Bonnie that were polygamist. So she said that Kody and Mary were like the only polygamists she knew, which doesn't make sense because there are other family members of Mary's that are literally polygamists. So she knew other polygamists. Adam, I don't know that he was a polygamist. I don't think they were polygamists together. But this idea that Kody and Mary were the only polygamists she knew is false because she was married into a polygamist family, right? Anyways, they got divorced in 1990. And then she and Mary were friends, and then issues were going on between, Mary and Janelle had issues sort of coming together, and the person wanted to know if issues with them sort of coming together had to do with Mary being upset about, maybe Janelle joining their family after divorcing her husband. And she just said that Janelle ended up leaving Adam, she alleged, because Adam was abusive.
This is why Mary and Janelle described their early relationship as really bad. No, so Janelle's first husband was abusive to her, so that's why she left him. And because obviously that was Mary's brother, then Janelle was around Mary and Dad a lot. And I think what ended up happening is she probably leaned on their shoulder for help, and she ended up falling in love with them as a couple. She was Mormon, so she was aware of polygamy. Because she was Mormon before she married my dad.
Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I mean, I would assume it could be very likely given that culture is very abusive to women. Janelle has never talked about it, and she said the marriage was very short-lived. And I don't think she has much of a relationship with him. He's remarried. So, and I think he's actually been remarried multiple times. So she claims there were no issues because Mary and Janelle were previously sister-in-laws, and then Janelle wanted to marry Kody. She says it wasn't like that at all, but that Janelle left Adam because Adam was abusive. I don't think the marriage was more than like a year. So it wasn't like they were together for very long. So Janelle was in an abusive marriage, and then she ends up in another abusive marriage. It's like history sometimes repeats itself. And it also seems like the way that it was described by McKelty is that Janelle was going through a tough time with her divorce, and she sort of ended up getting swooped in by Kody. So Kody is finding women at vulnerable periods, right? So like he meets Robyn after her divorce. He meets Janelle after her divorce. He's getting them, probably love bombing them, and swooping them up into his family. They all claim they picked him. I don't buy that. Not for a moment, but that's just me again. So Janelle's marriage with Adam was ended because of abuse, allegedly. So they claim that they did not move to Flagstaff because of Dayton. They claim that Dayton had actually already applied to go to school at UNLV and that he had not applied to go to NAU and that he had to apply to get into NAU after they made the decision to move. They said that Kody wanted to find a place where everyone would come to and that would be a great family place, like a small town. And now 5 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later, Kody wants to move again. Kody just can't sit still. Polygamists move a lot, and I could see them actually moving back to Utah, to be honest, because that's where their church is, and I'm assuming Kody wants to get new wives, and the best way to get new wives is to go back to church. I'm just saying. And I asked some people from the AUB, how frequently does a man have his wives fall apart and they take in new ones? And they said literally all the time. So, I mean, all it is a number to them. And so wives can come and go. And if as long as another wife comes along, they can get their celestial kingdom. So Kody could move to Utah to find new wives. That's my prediction. And I hope it's not the truth. But what do I know? So, what are your thoughts about the nanny moving, them being broke? I think the moving has to do with them being broke. That's just my opinion. What do you think about the situation about Janelle and her first husband? And do you buy the story that they moved and Dayton hadn't applied yet and it had nothing to do with Dayton? And what do you think about Sister Wives Closet closing? Are you shocked? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.